thank you both so much for sitting with me. Congratulations on this incredible movie.
Thank you.
Absolutely loved it. I think you talked about you want it to be a comfort rewatch movie, and I think it hits all of those spots. So the first question that I have for you, Emily, is you said after you watched the movie for the first time, you cried because you were so happy.
Yeah.
So what were you nervous about going into this experience, and how did you and Brett work together to calm those nerves?
I was never nervous about Brett, to be clear. Brett was always doing a great job, and Tom and Emily I knew were very talented, but it's one of those weird things where you can watch all of the pieces be assembled separately, but you still don't ultimately know what it's going to look like when you like cobble it all together. And I think like you even said that to me. You're like, you really don't know. Like when you're making something, you're not sure. It can feel right. It can feel good. And I feel like everybody has had that experience too of like you're doing something with a group and it's really fun and like you're just like kind of high on your own supply a little bit, and then you take a step back and you're like, that was a like folie à deux. Like we just were like fully just losing our minds together. And so I was just nervous really like to see it all come together, and I just wanted to feel sure that the readers had been taken care of and accounted for as far as what they were going to be expecting and hoping for. And that was the feeling that I had the first time that I saw the movie, which, by the way, the original plan was for me and for Brett and I to watch that movie together. And then the producers found out and they're like, we'll come too. And then suddenly it was a big group of everyone watching me watch the movie.
Yeah.
I was sitting in front of them, and then everybody was just behind me watching me watch the movie.
And at the end of the movie, if you don't mind me sharing, it was like dead silence.
Yeah, everybody's waiting for my reaction.
And we're just waiting, and I slowly like went up, and I looked over, and I saw that you were crying, and I was like, I hope those are good tears, and they were.
Yeah.
And I remember you went. It's ingrained in my memory. You just went, I love it. Aww. And I was very, very relieved. It was so important to me. More important to me that Emily love it than probably anybody. Like, it was really most important that she felt seen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, so the opposite end of that question, which you're leading into perfectly, is I know that you have directed adaptations before, specifically All the Bright Places. So this isn't your first time in the book-to-screen world.
Right.
But People We Meet on Vacation is
it's big.
Big. People adore it. People are so attached to these characters. How did you feel going into this project?
An immense amount of responsibility to a lot of very lovely people. I felt incredibly beholden to do this justice. And I knew what a special book it was, and I knew what a special relationship readers have to it, and that means a lot to me. I obviously have to go and do something very different than the book. I have to go make a film, and I have to make a film that works and that is efficient and is paced well and has all the things, but it also, so I really leaned on Emily and just said, you got to help me make sure what's in here is what needs to be in here, and what's not in here is okay, and because you can't squeeze everything into the film from the book. So it was trying to really make sure that we came through for readers. And we went out of our way to do Easter eggs. We went out of our way to have lines and other vacations and things. So it was just an immense amount of responsibility, and I took it very seriously all the way through the end of post. I constantly thought about the readers.
Yeah, I think that was the best thing for me about the entire process, was the fact that Brett very clearly respected the audience, and I think audiences see through it when you don't respect them, when you phone it in on any level. And I think, like, you wanting me to be happy with the end product was because you understood that I was sort of like the voice for them in a way, and that there's a reason that readers connect with this kind of story, and it's the same reason that audiences connect with this kind of movie. And I just felt they were always in great hands with you.
I loved last night at the screening when you said rom-coms are cinema. And I think that's how a lot of rom-com readers, they feel like rom-com books are literature, and people don't necessarily agree. And so being seen in that way is really wonderful. So something else I loved is that you both have said that you were inspired by When Harry Met Sally, and there were some fun, that opening scene of them in the car, to me, I was immediately like,
lots of homage happening.
Yes, absolutely.
I loved that. So I'm curious, what other rom-coms inspire both of you that you love, that maybe there are some Easter eggs to in the film?
Yeah, I'll start. I think that big ones for me are besides When Harry Met Sally. I think any Nora Ephron. We've talked a lot about Nora Ephron. So Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail, Notting Hill. I think is perfect.
Yeah.
I think again tonally, also just the way that film looks and is shot and is edited and is the music in that film and just the performances. And then my two kind of like I love. I'm going to throw a new one in since I'm going to say Moonstruck again, and I'm going to say, what's the other one I always say?
Jerry Maguire.
Oh, Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, 'cause the speech.
Jerry Maguire. The speech at the end
so
of this
good.
movie is very inspired by Jerry Maguire. Because only one person talks, it's just...
Well, and you were saying the whole time, because again, like my books are very talky. You don't want to see two actors just saying monologues at each other and figuring out what to keep and how to structure it. That was something I think you spent a lot of time on, and the writers as well, figuring out how to get that big emotional finale of them.
Yes.
You were like, we need our "You Had Me at Hello."
We need that line.
We need that, but
that
it's its own new thing.
Yeah, and we wanted our "You Had Me at Hello." We wanted that iconic moment for people, and it's there. Mm-hmm. I hope people will quote it in the future.
I know what it is, and we haven't even talked about it.
Exactly,
So,
I know what it is. Yeah.
I know what it is, too.
Okay, great. So, and then the last one I'll mention. I just want to also shout out "Say Anything."
Yeah.
That one is such a big movie for me. Just the
Boombox.
tone of it and Cameron Crowe did some good stuff.
He did.
He's such a great filmmaker. I love him. So what about you, Emily?
Oh man, I was like, we're answering these
Yes.
together. Those are all so many of my favorites too. I think for me, like I just really love the bittersweetness of a lot of rom-coms, and I feel like Nora Ephron, that's one of the, she's one of the greats, and that's something she did so well, was juxtaposing the like joy of falling in love and like kind of the bittersweetness and sadness of life, and the fact that they don't cancel each other out, they just have to exist side by side. And that's something that I've always like aspired to try to capture in my writing. But other people who I feel like do that really well. This is funny, but I keep coming back to The Desk Set, which was written by Nora Ephron's parents. I cannot remember their names right now. Sorry to them, R.I.P. But that movie has so much, like You've Got Mail has so much of that movie's DNA in it, because the whole idea is like the world is changing and your life is going to change because of it. Your job is going to change because of it. And also you're falling in love. And I just love that this movie really plants a foot firmly in each of those worlds, like the drama and kind of, growing pains of being alive, being a real person, and then the giddiness and joy and silliness of falling in love. Like they go together. They fit together.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, and I love Nora Ephron.
Yeah.
I think Nora Ephron fans are going to be really happy.
I hope so.
I hope so. We're standing on the shoulder of giants. For sure.
Yeah, and I hope that there are a lot of other rom-coms to come from other people that we will get to just enjoy as audience members.
Absolutely.
I hope this will be like helpful in making other things get made.
And like speaking, as the creator of these characters in this story, I know you visited the set. Mm-hmm. What was that like, seeing your characters alive and in the world?
Yeah, it's funny because like, you use the word humbling and it can mean like two kind of opposite things, where you're like, I'm humbled because this is so amazing, and you can be humbled where you're like, oh, I'm a speck of a thing, like I'm not that significant. And it was both of those, like in a really beautiful way, like showing up to the set and seeing hundreds of people working so hard to make this thing happen, which is like humbling. That's amazing. That's incredible. And also like, this is not just my thing, like this is not my baby in the way that the book is. The book was me alone on my couch, lying down, writing like this, giving myself carpal tunnel. And the movie was hundreds of people working very, very, very hard at very weird times of day to make this happen. And I mean, yeah, it's absolutely incredible and surreal. Getting to see Tom and Emily become those characters, I mean, there's nothing like that.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Getting more into kind of the nitty-gritty of the movie, I'm curious, which character do you each identify with the most? Because something that's so great, this is a opposites attract romance, and they're very different. They travel differently, but they complement each other really beautifully. Yeah.
We were talking about this, and we were kind of going back and forth. My first reaction for him was like, "Oh, you're a Poppy," and I definitely think I used to be more of a Poppy, and I've become more neurotic and anxious as time wears on. But also, then we were talking about our travel styles, and what were you saying about yours?
I'm more of a planner.
You're a planner.
I'm more of my director side comes out. I call it my Disney dad side. Where I'm like, here's what we're doing, kids, and we're going to have a good time.
Chop, chop.
Okay?
Come on.
Are you having a good time? I don't.
Yeah.
We're at Disney, so you better be having a good time. We're having, so that part comes out.
You're also like, you're curating an experience. And I think about like, even when you were pitching to do this movie, you made this deck and you had this playlist and you really were like, this is me curating this vision for you. And I think that's like...
It's very Alex.
It's very Alex, where he's like, I've created this moment in a lab and now we're going to sit down and enjoy it.
We're going to enjoy it. And I'm trying to let that part of me go more, honestly. I think it's good to have that, but it's also good to be able to let go. It's kind of like directing. You go in with a plan. You have to have a great plan.
And then be willing to let any of it go.
You have to be like, okay, we're playing. The vibes are high today. Let's just enjoy. So... I think we both are...
Both of them.
We're both. It's such a cop-out, but it's true.
I will say, I don't want to plan a trip ever in my life, but I want it to be planned. So that's kind of both and neither of them. I'm like, somebody else do this for me so I can show up and just enjoy it. Yeah. So...
Going back a little bit, you said when you pitched the movie you had a playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about the music?
We can talk a lot a bit about the music.
Because it is an amazing...
It's very good.
And I don't want to... There's
a spoil... Yeah.
I'm not going to say it, but that was an amazing moment. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, I would say, first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to my music supervisor, Season Kent. She's incredible, and I couldn't have done this without her. But from the beginning, as I said, a lot of the songs that were on my playlist are in the movie, and I designed sequences very specifically. Literally would play the music on set. So the song that they danced to at the wedding, played it on set. When they have their big scene where they're slow dancing at the wedding, I was listening to that song. I had the sound mixer pump it into my cans, only my cans, so that I could hear it while we were doing the scene, so I knew that it would play. The big one that you're talking about, we played it on set. We timed out the camera shots to it. Obviously, Hang With Me, it's in the trailer, but it's also, we use it because she's singing along to it. And so all of those moments, the opening song by Polo and Pan, Nana, very, very specifically designed. So all of those moments, I think I wrote a lot of them into the script, like Genesis by Grimes is in there. Like, we wrote them in because I felt a vibe and how I wanted this to feel. And so I'm really proud. I'm also, shout out to Keegan DeWitt.
I was going to say the scoring is also amazing.
I love our score so
I love that,
much.
like, it was kind of making me think of, like, in watching it just last night, I was thinking about, like, Leia's theme, and, like, there's the other... The Indiana Jones version for like Marion or someone that's like basically, but there's so many like little themes that you pick up on when you've seen it a couple times.
There's two main themes. There's like a romance theme. There's a vacation theme and a romance theme, and there's like their theme. Yeah. Keegan and I are big on theme, and one of the biggest influences for the theme in this was the theme of True Romance, which is actually a theme of Badlands. Yeah. So they took the Badlands theme and then redid it. Hans Zimmer redid it for True Romance. Yeah. And it has the steel drum. Bum, 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 bum.
She's like, she did not know the can of worms she was opening. We're like, no, this is amazing.
Well, it goes deep. Yeah. I mean, it goes deep. So I've always wanted to do a True Romance type theme, and it's in there
It's really sweet.
There. Yeah,
it makes me feel things.
Every time it comes back, it's whether you know it or not, it's hitting something. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So we're coming to the end. So I have a couple of questions They're a little.
Yes, we'll try to be fast.
Yeah.
One is, so at Pix, our whole thing is cross-media and recommending stuff. So very curious what each of your favorite or 5-star last watches, reads, podcasts even, just what you're consuming and loving right now.
I'm sticking with movies only.
Yeah.
I'm going to go one battle after another is the best film I've seen all year. And the film that surprised me the most this year is Sentimental Value. What a gem.
I've seen that.
I've worked with Elle Fanning. She's unbelievable in it. It is so good.
Yeah.
It is so good. And I'm going to call out, I really like Pluribus.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's so great.
Everyone in the world has told me to.
I think it's fantastic,
Yeah.
and I love Ray Seahorn. I
Yeah.
think she's amazing. So those are my recs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember when you mentioned this, but Weapons was really,
Oh, I
really,
love
really,
Weapons.
really fun. Obviously, very different.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, something that kind of surprised me how much I loved it was The Roses, that remake of the War of the Roses.
Yeah.
It's really sweet for a movie that's about a marriage imploding, and it, in a way, I feel like it's a comedy. It's truly funny. But there is this sweetness and this tenderness and this like sliver of truth. I don't know. I think I'm a fan. That's the last one that and it made me laugh aloud, which is like kind of hard to do.
And I'm not a big Star Wars person, but I think that Andor is one of the best shows.
And
of
Silo.
all time.
Did you watch
I haven't seen
Silo? You're not
yet.
enough of a sci-fi.
No.
There's a lot of good Severance. I mean, there's so much
Severance,
good TV right
yeah,
now.
Yeah. Pretty
What
great.
about books. I have to think about the last
But
one.
we're trying to like bring the romance in.
Yeah.
We need some romance.
Well, that's the problem. We need a lot more romance.
Yeah.
That's,
Romance is hard though.
Yeah, it is hard.
It's hard. You need to say books. I
know,
barely read.
But I read a lot, but it's the thing that happens where suddenly I've never read a book in my life.
Yeah.
I just read something.
I just read
good.
Crying in H Mart for the first time, which really blew me away.
Yeah.
And I think she's incredible. That would make an incredible film.
So I guess kind of dovetailing with that, are you a read the book first person or a watch the movie first?
Ooh.
I've changed. I used to be a read the book first person, but now I'm like, you know what? It's actually better to see the movie, enjoy the movie, and then you go and get more of the book, and you don't feel like you missed out on anything. You know what I mean?
I
That's
like
kind of
that.
what I've pivoted to.
I think it's a great conversation to be having about that. They're just extremely different
Yeah.
mediums. And I think that you can't do just the book. It's not really possible. And I do think that there's interpretation, and so I do think there's really a beautiful coexistence of books and movies. And if adaptations are done right, they capture the spirit, and that's what matters, is capturing the spirit and the story and the characters, but not necessarily doing it because it's not possible, frankly.
Right.
I think people would have a great time if they have not read Emily's book to watch this movie. And then go read it and get more of these characters. You're just going to get more insight to them.
But I actually think in this case it does work either way because there are added scenes in the movie too. So I think that it's, to me, even the changes, I'm like, that's kind of fun because they're just getting more. They're just getting more. They're getting like alternate reality in some places and just more in others.
Yeah, they're getting things that they would do.
Right.
And
exactly.
it's like, we called it, didn't you call it bonus content one time?
Maybe. Sounds possible.
But it sounds
like
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like you can get a little more extra. Poppy and Alex, let's say you love the book, you know the book by heart.
Right.
There's going to be surprises that you're not going to be disappointed by in the movie. You're going to go, oh my God, I'm so glad I get to see these two characters. I love do this other thing.
Yeah.
That's very true to them.
And my last question, do you think there's any chance that we're going to get to see more Poppy and Alex?
I don't know. You know what I really want? Obviously, the movie could not be 11 hours long. But if it had been, you would have gotten to see a lot more of David and Nam. And their officiant, Leighton, his character was Alistair, I believe. And they were all so funny and charming. And I really, being on set watching that, I was like, I want a David and Nam sequel so badly, and Tommy Doe, who played Nam, is a writer, and I was sort of like, we should do this, but then that's what I want. I want a sequel about them.
Yeah.
A prequel about them falling in love.
I think we feel pretty protective of Poppy and Alex.
I don't
want to
put them through anything.
I think we don't want to spoil the ending, but I think we're happy with where they ended up.
Oh, I love that. That's a perfect place
Yeah.
to end. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.